in those first years, we were learning a lot. We were trying to read as much as we could about how schools should operate. We were big into brain-based learning. We were big into Dr. Rady. And Dr. Rady wrote a book called Spark.
It was just such a great book because it was a science book, which I'm kind of attracted to, but it also had all of these great stories about, you know, you've got these chemicals in your brain, but let me tell you how we can make those work for you. And he introduced this idea of exercising during the 0 hour, in other words, right before classes began. And he started talking about the changes that you could have in your brain. And more importantly, the ability to sort of put chemicals in your brain that make you ready to learn, to put chemicals in your brain that allow you to concentrate, to put chemicals in your brain that just allow you to function over the course of the day. At the beginning of the school, it was very much a between classes and at the beginning of the day, come in, transition into the classes. But I don't know if you've noticed, but the ride into school sometimes can be trying. And so these kids who intellectually held on to a lot of things anyway were coming in and they were bringing all that stuff into school. And so you had to reconcile that before any learning could really occur. Based on one of the premises in the book, we decided that we were going to have physical education be the very first thing that went on every day. And we sort of branded it Fit Club, and we had the kids bring workout clothes.
And what every teacher noticed almost immediately was that behavior was down.
I remember the first time that we did jumping jacks. Nobody knew how to do jumping jacks. It was like somebody had electrified the floor because people were just bouncing around and throwing their arms up and down, and sometimes a leg would go out and other times it wouldn't. I mean, it was just completely random movement. And so we practiced the steps in a jumping jack. I mean, you may not have ever thought about the steps involved in the jumping jack, but there's a way to do it. And so we practiced it. And that became the seed for that. Now, as we grew, as the school grew, we realized that we couldn't keep putting all the kids into one group. And so then we started dividing the groups up. And once again, we were looking for ways to make it engaging and make it fun and make it something that was good for them and raised their heart rate, but at the same time was not like something that they'd ever done before.
So my 16-year-old son was leading an Eagle Scout project, and his project ended up being a collection of slightly used fitness equipment from people's houses. And then he raised enough money to put up mirrors and bars and flooring in the back room over the Gillette, and then we went and collected treadmills and weight machines and other types of things.
And Scott organized it and got us moving in that direction. Our kids learn how to manage themselves, and the entire school starts off working out first thing every morning to get us in the frame of mind for learning and to get our bodies regulated so that we can learn.